Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Gobbling up in the attic again, and today we've got some goblin beer. Ooh, bit of a change. How's everyone doing? First things first, let's get this open. Now, you may notice that the scenery behind me has changed slightly, and I'll come to that in a minute. Hope everyone's had a good Sunday. It's currently 26.5 degrees in the attic, and it's a little toasty, but this is going to help, so cheers. It's a little toasty up here today. Right, so I've said that already. Well, it's just going to be a struggle. My eyelids are sweating. I'm going to have to look at my list. Right, I'm drinking gold beer, but today the first theme is actually silver, because I was rearranging things in the attic the other day and one thing led to another, and I'll explain why, but I've ended up with a new feature, which is Platinum Corner. Now, do you ever feel weird about owning Platinum games? Because if you put them in your long shelf of Black Label games, they just look out of place, and you feel, I don't know about you, but I feel dirty. You know, I feel tainted by them, sort of. Even though some of my favourite games are Platinum releases, like my copy of Gran Turismo 2, I've had since I was like less than 10 years old. Yeah, was always a Platinum release. But I didn't know how to give them the love they deserved while avoiding, you know, feeling like they kind of stuck out on the shelf. So what I've done, like any sensible person would do, is set up an entire corner dedicated to Platinum games. So this kind of came together by accident. For one reason or another, I swapped out the TV. I mean, it was silver anyway, but we've now got the one with the VHS player in here. This PS2, I got in a bundle on Vinted with Mission Impossible on PlayStation, which I had when I was a kid. I bought this brand new back in the day and played a lot of it. Even though going back to it more recently, it's not as solid as I remember. But still, yeah, I've got mega nostalgia for this one. And so I got this in uncracked, complete condition. Well, complete with the manual. I don't know if there's a reg card missing or something, but the disc is pretty spotless almost as well. This and this silver fat PS2, £16 together. And now the seller said, oh, it has some problem reading discs, and I thought, no worries, mate, like, I can fix that. You know, I'll get an AliExpress laser or something. But as soon as I plugged it in, it worked. So happy days. That's a fat silver PS2 for about 10 quid. You know, subtracting the approximate value of Mission Impossible. So I was very pleased with that, indeed. And I'd been thinking about, as my Black Label collection has, you know, it's grown off the top shelf now and spilled into other shelves. I was thinking, I really want to move these Platinum games, the few that I've got pepper in it, somewhere else and give them the love they deserve. And having this these PlayStation game racks, it all just kind of came together in my head. And I was like, oh, why don't I have a dedicated Platinum area with a silver console, a silver TV, and that's what's happened. So we're running Platinum Buster Move 2 at the moment. Now you may be asking, what happened to Cozy Famicom Corner? And don't worry, it still exists. It's just in the other corner, and I'll show you that in a bit. But first, I'm going to take another sip of my beer. We've got a bunch of pickups to talk about today, including some saucy charity shop finds, and we're going to weigh a couple of manuals. So let's take a sip of beer. God, I'm finding it hard to stay on track today. I didn't think the heat was bothering me too much, but yeah, I'm going dizzy up here. So they're just out of frame because I couldn't be bothered finding something to raise the table up. but we do have the gold standard calibrated My Kitchen scales here, and the previous champion, the new champion from the previous episode, Pitbull, is here to represent, to defend its belt. After some discussion with 2T UK, it turns out that now these are melting. The theme park whale that we weighed, that made originally reached 128 grams, being a classics version. It turns out that the original non-classics black label of Theme Park World, the manual, is nowhere near as heavy, and we've had a talk about it, the judges and I, and we've decided to disqualify Theme Park World. So Theme Park World has been struck out of the competition. There we go, officially it's been banned. So the rules are, it's got to be the original release, non-classics, UK PAL. So Theme Park World has been kicked off the leaderboard, which doesn't really change the leaderboard at all because it was tied for first place anyway. So that's all fine. Right, I think we're going to do the charity shop finds first, and then work our way towards, build the excitement towards the manual weighing. So the day before yesterday, I think it was, I went out to do some shopping, and I was in an area that has a real strip of charity shops. I must have hit about 12 of them, just in the one area. Just walking, like there's one car park where you can hit 2 of them, drive a bit further up, and there's literally 10 more around there. I hit them all, and I was coming away empty-handed until, I think it was the second to last one. I walked in, and they popped a big box on the counter, like where the till is, and it said £1 on it, £1 each. And I started having a look in it, and I was going, oh! And the lady behind the till said, oh yeah, you looking for games? Have a look in this, and pulls out like a big bag for life and whops it down. We've got some more, puts it down on the counter, and I was like, oh yes. I came in at the right time. So for £1 each, we picked up 11 things. Now let me check if I'm recording, because I don't want to do this twice. Yes, we are. Let me take a sip of the beer. One of these games was actually on my list in my phone of games that I need to pick up for one reason or another. It's not this one. So yeah, remembering these are £1 each, we got Bionicle on PS2. This is the only one that isn't complete with the manual, which is a shame. But for £1, I was partly just trying to get them out of there before anyone else came over and started interfering, because they can't have been up there long. The woman was saying, oh yeah, we don't normally sell the games, but so, this girl told me just put them out £1, see if anyone goes to them. And I was like, oh yes. So Bionicle, then Bionicle Heroes. This one is complete with the manual, and really nice actually as well. The disc is it's a B, but yeah, pretty good condition. That was £1. Then I love a driving game. We got WRC 4. So I now have WRC 1, 2, 3 and 4 on PS2. So it was nice to, I don't know if that completes the set, or I'm not really bothered, but I got 4 of them. Then we've got a Midas game, GTR Touring. I haven't tried this yet, but I love a bad driving game, and I love a good driving game, so I can't really lose. This looks interesting. And yeah, inside it's, I think this was an ignored present or something, because it's pretty fresh. Yeah, pretty fresh. Someone didn't really give this a chance. Now this is the one that was on my list. Midas Touch. Is Midas Touch the same as Midas? Is it the same company? Can anyone tell me? Because this seems like the kind of mad thing that they would make. Yeah, Midas Interactive. Extreme Express World Grand Prix. Now this is a train racing combat game. You don't say that every day. The manual is a little bit creased, but let's have a look at the disc. Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. A solid B+. Racing trains across 10 varied landscapes, Extreme Express offers a unique and exciting experience, with masses of trains and courses to unlock, a challenging tournament mode, and many varied tasks to master in the trial mode. You will need all your skill to get to the platform first. Computer opponents or players' trains will be out to derail you in this crazy race to the finish. I was reading the manual, and you can do like tail slides and slam the other trains off the rails and stuff. This sounds unbelievably good. I can't wait to try this. For £1, I was made up with that. Then we got a couple of war games, also by Midas. I imagine that these may be shite, but from the screenshots they look pretty good. We got World War II tank battles and Pacific Warriors 2 dogfight. Why not? £1. Yeah, £1 each. I'll give these a try. I might really like them. Seem to have a growing collection of Midas games now. So that's seven PS2 games, and then the first 2 games we showed were Bionicle and Bionicle Heroes. So also mixed in with this stuff, we had some DVDs. We had Bionicle Mask of Light, the movie, Bionicle 2, Legends of Metru Nui, Bionicle 3, Web of Shadows, and probably Bionicle 4, The Legend Reborn. My little brother used to collect the Bionicle toys when we were little, and was into sort of the lore around them, the LORE. And we used to play this Flash game. I can't remember what it was called. Yeah, Bionicle. So I've got some good memories of Bionicle, and I just couldn't leave all this Bionicle stuff behind for £1 each. So that's seven games and 4 DVDs, £1 each, all relevant to my interests in some way. So I thought that was a win. I thought that was pretty good. Especially Extreme Express, which looks unbelievable. So that is the end of the charity shop section. Oh, it's not actually. I've got something else to show you. Let me just pour some more beer and we'll get to it. How am I going to do this? Tell you what, because I don't want to spoil the rest of the pickups by, well, you'll soon see. So we're gonna do the rest of the pickups and the manual weighing first, and then I'll show you the last thing I got from charity shop. Okay. Next, I think we need to. Yeah. Okay. So in the manual weighing, the world of heavy manuals. Now, people have tended to be suggesting the heaviest manual that they know of, and that, of course that's good. We need to do the science, right? But some people have also suggested just games where they would like to know how many grams the manual weighs, even if they think it may not come in near the top of the leaderboard. And PJ Venom requested Metal Gear Solid, and he said something like, it would be interesting to see, because it's so text heavy, does that translate to the weight of the manual? And I think that question is worth answering, and it's an excuse to get this off the shelf, because I haven't played it in donkey's years. Don't get me wrong, I'm still not going to play it again, but we are going to weigh its manual. So, oh yes, that's better. That's what we want. Bit of Silent Hill. So let's whack out the manual. Now, this does come with a bunch of other promotional stuff, as I'm sure you've seen before. I am not counting these. Those are brochures and not manuals. So we will weigh the manual. So this is a staple bound manual. Everything on here is a glue bound manual, and they tend to be much heavier. So I think this is going to be way off the bottom of the scale, but it can still come on as a guest for this episode only, just to see how it compares. So let's turn on the scales. What do you think? Bearing in mind the bottom, we've got V-Rally and Gauntlet Legends tied on 78 grams. I reckon this is going to be 46. Let's have a look. 52. Did anyone guess 52? Right, now I need to write this on. I guess we can use theme park worlds. So yeah, although Metal Gear Solid is very dialogue heavy, that did not translate into the weight of the manual necessarily. Let's go on. Let's write it like this. So, Metal Gear Solid. The eagle-eyed among you may notice that Colin McRae Rally 2 is there, ready for this month's PS1 Racing Game Challenge. I still haven't tried, but the setup is here. It's literally couldn't be closer to the console for me to whack it in and have a go. So I'm gonna get on that when it's not so fucking hot in the attic and when I can actually see what I'm doing. Right. So I'm gonna use red because this isn't officially on the leaderboard. So what did we have? What's happened? Oh, I've put a pen under it. That's why the reading's gone off. I let a pen run under the scales. Let's remeasure. I said, what was it, 53? Come on, zero them. Now we're getting 52. We'll give it 53. Let's be kind. It was on 53 before I messed with the scales. God, I'm absolutely dripping. Whew. Metal Gear Solid comes in. Probably can't see that, but it's down there on 53. There we go. Right. Now, while we're weighing, let's do the contender, which I picked up. So this was only a few pounds from Vinted or something. And as I've been picking up some sports games that I have no interest in, to weigh the fat manuals, that pattern's continuing. I don't think anyone suggested this, but we've got onside or complete onside soccer. This is an early one without the PlayStation strip, and we are going to see how much this weighs. Let's take a look. We've got a nice green manual there. Looks pretty big to me. It's pretty heavy, but I don't think it's gonna top the leaderboard. I'm gonna say 110 for this one. I think 110. But I've been surprised before. Let's have a go. Onside soccer. 103 grams. Oh, and it looks like this game was owned by Malcolm Murray Jr. Shout out Malcolm Murray Jr. wherever you are. Thanks, mate, for the cheap heavy manual. Right, 103 grams. Let's write that down. So what does that do to the leaderboard? That is going to eliminate V-Rally and Gauntlet Legends. Now Metal Gear Solid is not on the top 9, so let's do this. This makes my life slightly easier because I can lose that one. Move this off on the carpet. 103 grams. Say anything over 100 is a fat manual. 103 grams, and it's called, I'm going to call it onside soccer because that will fit. Soccer. Has anyone else had some good charity shop finds recently? I was made up with those 11 for £11. Right, that's gonna go there. So let's move these down. Oh, if I forgot to say, game 9 eliminated twice. There you go, Lee. There's your attempt at a deep voice. Does anyone want to do a voiceover for me for when we eliminate a game from the leaderboard? Need to get like John St. John or something to do it. That's right, isn't it? There we go. I'm seeing a pattern that there's a lot of cheap sports games going into the leaderboard. That's okay. That's all right. What makes it on here is a sort of balance between what people suggest, how much I want the game, and maybe more importantly, how cheap and heavy it looks. And so that's why FIFA 97, onside soccer, and actual golf I've got in early. Yeah, there are other things suggested like Discworld, but that's like £100 plus, isn't it? So that is probably not going to happen very, very soon. Although I am looking for a PlayStation mouse at the moment. There's several games piling up that I want to play with the mouse, and this is a fantastic segue into the last game pickup of the episode. Some years ago I completed Broken Sword 1. I actually played 95% of it or something on the PlayStation 1, but I didn't have the mouse. And there's a bit near the end of the game, you'll know what I mean if you played it, where you're in like a cave sort of thing, and you get kind of cornered by the bad guy and you have to react quickly. And I was just finding it impossible on that particular version of the game from the Help Charity compilation without the mouse. It seemed to be impossible. So I gave up. But what I did do was go back to it on Steam. And I used, is it called Steam Link? To my Raspberry Pi to play it on the TV with my computer mouse, and completed it all the way through and really enjoyed it. And so now that that story is told, see that I've picked up Broken Sword 2, The Smoking Mirror, a really, really fucking nice copy of it, really nice. Yeah, this is probably going in one of those rigid box protector things immediately, or preferably sooner. The disc is almost unmarked. I know you can't really see it on camera. Here it is. The manual is, if I unseal the game and I got that, I would be happy. You know, that there's not a white mark on the edge of the manual anywhere. And inside the inlay, it's got the double-sided inlay advertising the mouse. Very, very happy to have this coming into the collection indeed. So that's just a little something for myself. Right then. Let's make sure I'm not going to crush anything, and we'll get you out of the tripod and take a little look at something cool. I still need to clean the reader head in there. I tested the VHS thing in this, and sound was coming through. I think I mentioned this, yeah, but it was like a fuzzy, just snow, the picture. Had a look at the head, and I can see like some detritus on it, some smudgy shit on it. So I've been in there with like a cotton bud on a stick with alcohol in the end, like trying to scrub it, but it's really awkward. And I gave up because it was hot up here. So I will fix that soon. Let's get you out of the tripod and turn this lamp off so it doesn't blind us. And I want to show you something. Now the reason that I ended up rearranging things and that this bigger TV is now over here is because the smaller TV is now, let me scooch down, now over here. There we go, that's better. Get the white balance better. Yep, and the smaller TV is over there because the speaker moved from there to there, and it did that because I got a new amp, a new hi-fi thing which goes in the middle to drive it, and so the wires from the other speaker to there and to that speaker now allow me to do that, which freed up this space. And then I noticed that I could almost fit the CRT there if I used the smaller one, and so this all got scooched by about an inch to make it work. And then I realised that Cozy Famicom Corner could now live here, and so now it does. So it's moved over. And now regarding the speakers, the ones that I had up here was similar looking to these. You can see that that one's got a little bit of stain on it that I still need to get out, but the other one is pretty unmarked over next to the new driver display which I put up, which is pretty cool. So basically I found these two speakers for £5, the pair together, £5 in a charity shop, and I love silver and this type of wood. You know, it fits with the whole aesthetic, and the shiny Sony emblems, of course, sold me on it, because that is my kind of thing. Then I needed an amp to drive them, and lo and behold, the next day, I found this Sony Aiwa XR FA700, pretty high-end hi-fi, without the speakers, for £12, and this must have been like 100 times that, so that when it was brand new. And if we power it on and give it a moment to go onto aux. Yes, let's go. So it's playing, there's a demo running of this. But this thing is absolutely sick, look at that. We've got analog dials for, now this is just running the demo mode so that all the, you know, everything cycles and it looks pretty, and you can watch them in action. But there we go, now we're back onto aux. They do work, yeah, left and right dials. I'm just going to crank this shit for a sec. Yep, it's good, it's fucking good, and it does CD, although it doesn't seem to read them, but I don't give a shit because it's got about 7 PlayStations connected to it and they're all CD players. It also does tapes. If I pull the, I'm going to knock the tripod over, the tape things at the top, in the top of it, if I pull the keyboard tray out, I can press it, it'll pop up and I can get a tape cassette in. Yeah, so my modern sort of Bluetooth speakers have been replaced with a 2003 period correct for the PS2, a high-end mini hi-fi setup with analog needles. I couldn't believe I found this for £12 in full working order, besides the CD playback, but do you know what I mean? How many CD players are plugged into this thing? It doesn't matter, does it? You know, it's all good. So yeah, so that's it. Yeah, and it fits exactly on top of the Pentium, in that gap. Literally couldn't have asked for a better solution, because when I knew that I needed an amp for them, I was, you know, you see a lot of like microwave sized, you know, multi-level, you got like your radio tuner, your double cassette deck thing, you know, a CD thing, massive things. And when I saw this, I knew it was meant to be. I knew that this was what I was supposed to get. So I was very chuffed indeed. So yeah, my sound setup has been sort of downgraded in time, but upgraded in quality and in Soniness and silverness and early to mid 2000s-ness. So I am absolutely chuffed that has come together. Right, let's rebalance the weight or something. Go on, that'll do. Whew. What's your favourite demo music from the PS1 demos? I quite like this one, I gotta say. Yeah, this one is on many, including disc 51. So, yeah, to recap, have I done everything on my list? I have, yeah. So to recap, got a working silver PS2 for pretty much 10 quid, which led to a cascade of things, that, including the hi-fi, that made me set up this platinum corner, which I'm pretty happy about. I've got some more bling coming to platinum it up. I just realised there's another game I haven't shown that I picked up. Here it is. Code Veronica X. I think this was £7 and it's in pretty cracking condition, considering it's platinum. And do you know what? I don't care, because I've got a platinum corner now. It's the same game, and if I get the platinum version, that means that I don't get the Devil May Cry demo. And I don't know what it is. I think it's just that I think that Dante just looks like a cunt. Just looks like a complete twat, like someone that I would have really couldn't, you know, someone that I wouldn't be able to stand if I met them in real life, and I didn't want it. I'm sorry if you're a Devil May Cry fan, but I've always found it repulsive. I just don't want anything to do with it. But My school friend did lend me this back in the day. I played some of it and enjoyed it, even though I'm a big Silent Hill fan. I thought I'd get a Resi game, and for £7 in pretty shiny condition to go in Famicom Corner, Platinum Corner, I couldn't say no. So, oh, felt like that was a bit of a manic video. I'm still fucking knackered and really quite stressed. But yeah, on a more serious and reflective note, I wanted to say that coming up here and just talking to my imaginary friends, we're out there somewhere, about games, you know, for half an hour or whatever, it really does help me to, you know, remain mindful and in the moment, and not worry so much about my life or dwell on things, you know, that may be going on or worry me or whatnot. So yeah, and it seems like people are appreciating the videos as well. So thank you very much all for watching. I am gonna drink some beer, get out of here, and go watch some cop shows on Channel 5 and catch up with some other people's videos. So I'll see you all next time. Take care.